So I was thinking about it. What was there before Facebook? Like I always say to my friends, oh, kids are kind of lucky to grow up with Facebook. And because I lost contact with a lot of people when I was younger and, I didn't see them or hear from them for 20 years or however long. So it would have been cool to grow up with them even just on Facebook. But anyway, this is my scrapbook. So this is what we did before Facebook. So this scrapbook's from when I was about 9 to 13. And as you can see, I was obsessed with the Queen. And I got this flag when she came to my city. I guess her royal visit to Canada. This picture I took of her. You can see I didn't get her facing, but that's not bad for, I don't know, I must have been maybe 10. And then Mr. Prince Philip giving my camera a nice wave. Yep. From then on, I was like a groupie for like England. And through England, this is my Michael Jackson stuff. I got lots of Michael Jackson stuff. That was my first concert when I was, I guess about 10. As you can see, my scrapbook looks a lot like my Facebook. There's pictures of animals doing dumb things. Look, a little baby in the tub. Look, a monkey bottle feeding a tiger. So, yeah. So, this Michael Jackson stuff. There's my first concert ticket. It was to see the Jacksons in, was that 1984? It was my first time. Here's some movies that were around in 1983. Yentl, Flashdance, Silkwood, Never Cry Wolf, Sudden Impact, Hot Dog, Christine, Scarface, Brainstorm, Lassiter, Footloose. That's probably why I kept this piece of paper, because I loved Footloose. Now you got to remember, for the younger people watching this, we didn't have internet back then. So we had to, buy magazines and newspapers and read it. And what I would do is I'd save pop bottles and I'd go up to the corner store every week and I'd get myself usually a National Enquirer. And it's like now I'm realizing that, that wasn't the best thing. This is a target that I shot when I was about 13, my first time at camp, and I shot a 74% with a rifle, so that's pretty good. So as you can see, I started out a pretty normal kid. And then my old babysitter, I love you so much, Boy George. My old babysitter gave me my first record of my own, because I grew up around my mom's records, and she was all into the, like, Commodores and Marvin Gaye and, the soul and the reggae. Anyway, so I fell in love with my record, and I wore it out. I did have it, and I'm not sure what happened to it. I've moved about 7 times since I got it. Oh, look. He is just so beautiful. Look. Boy George's gal is really a guy. Look at all this propaganda. Yeah. This is amazing stuff. Look at this outfit. It says, how Boy George lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks. Oh my goodness, this is a really good picture. Look at that, isn't he beautiful? And Thin Boy George with his vegetarian friend Marilyn. The headlines. Oh, you can let this diet work for you. If anybody wants me to do another video and read, an article at a time, I would love to do that for you, because this, I can't get enough. Boy George flips his lid. I know. How can you not fall in love with this guy? So I was madly in love with him, and I've managed to meet him now. I think, well, twice, and then another time where we just talked while he was like kind of DJing. I think he might have had a couple drinks because I was blushing, if you can believe it. Look, this is a beautiful picture of Boy George. He must have been young here. I'll have to ask him. Maybe he was like, I'm guessing 21, 22. And the little pin in his hat says Boy London. Uh-oh. Then the drama begins. It says, Boy George bounces back from $1,000 a day habit. Boyish charm. There's a thing called overexposure. What? Says Boy George. Utter rubbish. Maybe so. Whoever thought his new hairdos would attract such attention? With his LP waking up with the house on fire and the US tour, the comic chameleon never ceases to amaze. And this is from the Us magazine, December 17th. Why is it blurry? 1984. Now this is from a teen magazine from 1986. What it is all the addresses so you can comfortably stalk rock stars and movie stars from your home. This is how we used to have to do it in the old days. Now there's the internet. So it's awesome. Let's see, a few of these are Michael J. Fox, Ricky Schroeder, Menudo, Kirk Cameron, Dynasty, Love Boat, Ralph Macchio, Charlie Sheen, look at that, winning, Fame, Rob Lowe, Brooke Shields Fan Club, Aha, Prince, Paul Young, Don Johnson, oh my goodness, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Who is Pat? Oh, Pat Peterson from Knots Landing. Mitch Gaylord, but they didn't have Boy George's, so I had to look on the back of Boy George's record album, and I wrote him a lot, and I never heard back, so I was pretty upset. So when I last saw him, I was like, yeah, don't you remember I wrote you all those love letters? He's like, oh yeah, now it's coming to me. So he's really funny, and he's just so sweet. Look, that is the picture. Oh, I'm telling you, he is beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. This is a sad time. This made things hard for me. I was like really young. And let's see when this is from, 1986. So that was hard because I would guess I was like 13. He shaved his head and cries for days. Now his family fears. Boy George is headed for an early death. Because of Boy George, though, I started watching the news because there would be like a short clip here and there. So then I'd stay up late so that I could watch the 11 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock and the 11 o'clock news. Yeah, a little bit obsessed. Boy George comes clean and tries to come back after heroin addiction and his pals' drug deaths. So like I said, I should make another video of like reading these articles because, you know, they're amazing. There's things that you can find online, but it's just totally different. This article, this photograph was by Terry Smith. Here he is. A grim George left a London court last summer after an inquest determined that Udiski had died by misadventure. So this is probably one of the worst times of George's life, but very sad. But he came back. That's what makes him such an inspiration. He's had some real adversity in his life, and to meet him and to stand like in front of him, it's like, well, I don't really want to say a religious experience, but it was.